Back in the late 90s, Chris Tucker seemed like he was positioned to become the next leading man in Hollywood. He represented an era of comedy much like Richard Pryor did in the 70s and Eddie Murphy did in the 80s. Chris Tucker ruled the late 90s. After getting paid $3 million to play Detective James Carter in Rush Hour in 1998, he got a well-deserved raise for the sequel. Tucker was reportedly paid $20 million for Rush Hour 2, and he received $25 million and a percentage of the box office gross for Rush Hour 3. Earning over $20 million a movie is an accomplishment very few actors can claim. As a result, Tucker became the highest paid actor in Hollywood. When you hold that title, a ton of movie scripts come your way. However, the amount of scripts that Tucker was offered doesn't match up with the amount of films he actually appeared in. Since the year 2000, Tucker was only seen in 4 films, 2 of them being a part of the Rush Hour franchise. How does Tucker go from being one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood to rarely being seen at all? Here's why Chris Tucker disappeared from Hollywood. Chris Tucker made his stand-up debut on Def Comedy Jam in 1992 and had one of the most memorable sets. The electrifying set catapulted Tucker into stardom as he was cast in small roles like The Meteor Man and House Party 3. That same year, Tucker tried his hand at drama in the film Dead Presidents. 1997 would be the year Chris Tucker would make an even bigger impact in the industry because he would go on to release 3 films: Money Talks, The Fifth Element, and a small role in Jackie Brown. The year after that, Tucker would reunite with Brett Ratner, the director of Money Talks, for Rush Hour, arguably his most recognizable role globally. Rush Hour was a huge hit for audiences, grossing over $244 million worldwide. And after the success of Rush Hour, Tucker would earn $20 million and $25 million for his respective sequels. Now, the highest paid actor in Hollywood, Tucker was able to be more selective with his next projects, which served as one of the reasons his fans started seeing him less.
Back in 1995, Chris Tucker teamed up with Ice Cube for the iconic film Friday, where he played the unforgettable character Smokey. However, when the sequel, Next Friday, hit the screens 5 years later, Tucker was noticeably absent. There has been a lot of speculation on why that happened, most notably from John Witherspoon.
So you go and do Boomerang, and there's a few more movies in between there. I mean, there's Vampire in Brooklyn.
That's my favorite movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of my favorites. Wes Craven was the director.
Right.
Oh man, he's a Witherspoon. Why don't you read the script one day? You always ad-lib it, but you should read the script.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, Vampire in Brooklyn came right around the same time.
Yeah.
But in 1995, Friday.
Yeah, we did Friday.
Which was your most famous role, you think, Friday?
Yeah, kids, college kids fell into that Friday mode, and they love Friday. Even today, they love Friday. They love Friday.
Well, I guess when the movie was coming together, the movie cost $2 million.
$2 million. We got paid $5,000 a piece to do that movie.
Right, and I guess Ice Cube was going to put up the money himself.
Right.
But New Line Cinema talked him out of it.
They said, look, ain't no sense you losing $2 million. If the movie bomb, we just take the hit. The movie grow $300 million.
He could have gotten all that.
And they're not going to come back and say, we made a lot of money, we're going to give you all the bonus. That ain't some bullshit. That don't happen in Hollywood.
Okay, so you made $5,000.
$5,000. Everybody else want to show, they're going to say they made more money. Everybody made no money on that movie.
Okay.
5,000.
Did Chris Tucker do about the same, you think?
About the same thing.
About the same, yeah. So what happened with Chris Tucker and his involvement in Friday?
He with Jackie Chan with that Rush Hour making $20 million. I wouldn't go back to Friday either.
So that was it. It was just a money thing.
Oh, it's all about money. Oh no.
But obviously he would have gotten him. It's not like he's going to get $5,000 to do next Friday. I mean, at this point he's.
I got $400,000
for the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. So he would have gotten probably even more.
He probably got more, yeah.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't no $20 million.
$20 million. Okay, so
you're gonna do it. You're gonna get a 3-picture deal for $20 million each. I would have been right there with him.
Right, because he did Money Talks afterwards also, before the Jackie Chan movie, before Rush.
Money Talks, that's another movie he did, right?
Yeah,
he probably got big bucks on that.
With Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he got big bucks on that. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so at that point he was just making so much money he didn't.
He ain't gonna go back to no Friday. Plus he got religious, and they said, they don't smoke weed. They don't want kids smoking weed. So he said they smoke weed, and the preachers got to him and say you can't You can't be in a movie where they smoke weed and stuff. Now it's legal.
Yeah.
Now he want to go back. but now he got another job with Jackie Chan again.
Okay, so is he coming back and doing another Friday?
I don't think they come back. I don't know.
Are you doing another Friday?
If they do it, I would. You know,
Okay.
because I talked to Cube and he talked to Warner Brothers and said they're going to do it.
Ice Cube recently set the record straight about Tucker's absence and shed light on the decision-making process. After the success of the first Friday movie, Tucker was approached to reprise his role, but he opted not to return. Instead, Ice Cube and Cube Vision turned to Mike Epps to fill the comedic void as Day-Day. In a chat with the Full Send podcast, Ice Cube revealed that they had offered Tucker a whopping $12 million for the role, but Tucker declined, citing religious reasons. According to Cube, Tucker didn't want to use profanity or depict drug use on screen. Some people, however, did not support that decision.
But my thing with Chris Tucker, Chris has the weirdest, I would love to know what's going on in his head. Because he, to me, is like the Barry Sanders of comedy. Who's another dude that, Jim Brown. These dudes who, he's so talented, but it seems like if the movie ain't called Rush Hour, which I just saw they're about to do.
There's a new Rush Hour
4.
Rush Hour
If the
4, yeah.
movie ain't Rush Hour, Chris don't want to do no movies. And I'm sitting here going, if we are going to get Chris in a Friday movie, I need the old Chris. I need this new Chris, born again Christian.
Oh, he's born again Christian now?
He don't curse.
Oh, really?
He's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's.
Well, you just never see him, so I have no idea.
Right, but he said that, I think he's born again. He don't curse. And for some reason, he does not feel comedically as edgy as he did, like the Def Jam days. That famous joke that he did when he was talking about girl and his mother come home and, Mama, Chris, hurry up. I'm trying if you shut the f up. I'm coming. Like that Chris?
Yeah.
The Friday Chris? Man. Woo!
Well, I think with Chris, from what he said, based on all the Friday cast members I interviewed, I've interviewed damn near all of them except for Chris and Cube. He got paid almost nothing to do the first movie.
Right.
And then suddenly he was given his own movie with Money Talks, which I'm sure he got a big check
One of
for.
the funniest, that Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Money Talks Chris
Money
Tucker.
Talks, Money Talks Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Pope. Hey, that name was Pope.
Oh, that scene with Phase on Love? In
Dude,
the jail cell?
there's so many memorable scenes. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. And then came Rush Hour, which is, you're paired with the biggest movie star from China.
Yeah.
So you have that huge crossover
Right.
to the other biggest country in the world.
But since Rush Hour,
Nothing.
what are the movies? It was Rush Hour, Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour 3, now it's Rush Hour 4. I think he did that one movie, I can't remember the name of it, with,
He was
with Robert De Niro and Bradley Cooper.
He was in The Fifth Dimension.
Well, that all came before Rush Hour.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Okay.
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element, yes.
Yeah, that all came before Rush Hour. What I'm saying is once Rush Hour happened, Chris pulled the Barry Sanders and he stopped playing football.
It was basically Friday, Money Talks, Rush Hour.
Right, and when you do Friday and then Rush Hour and you are a bona fide A-list star, you can keep doing your own movies. But like I said, he pulled the Barry Sanders. He went from Rush Hour to nothing but Rush Hours.
Well, yeah, because he did Rush Hour 1 in 98, Rush Hour 2 in 2001, then Rush Hour 3 in 2007. So basically, for almost 10 years, he was just doing one movie for
Exactly. That's
Right.
why I'm sitting here going, what the fuck?
Yeah, then he was in Silver Linings Playbook in 2012.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And that role was a bit role.
I'm trying to remember if I saw it. I think I did.
The fact that you going, I think,
Yeah.
is my point.
That's what I'm saying. Right?
Yes,
I don't remember him.
somebody that immensely talented,
Yeah.
who was a star. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. He was also in Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, I know that like I know Off-White.
And he's going to be in a movie called Air Jordan that they're actually filming right now.
Okay.
And then there's Rush Hour 4. But you're right. He didn't do
Yeah.
He hasn't really done Remember, at one point he had some tax problems. So I remember he was
Right.
hitting like the stand-up circuit again.
Yeah.
Paying back his tax
But that's
bills.
what I'm saying. When I saw his stand-up, it was really strong marijuana. But
Was
it
it?
wasn't.
Was it cool?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen a stand-up.
Chris Tucker Def Jam, that Chris Tucker, oh boy. There was some bite. That nigga had some bite.
No, he was the hottest comedian in the world at one time. Remember he was doing he was in California Love, Tupac and Dr. Dre video?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted a piece of Chris Tucker.
And cuz plus, you hadn't heard that voice.
Yeah.
Hey man, that you never heard. That was a breath of fresh air. It was something we never heard. Right. I'm telling you, man, Money Talks is one of my favorite comedies of all time. That movie has so much bite to it, and you can't even call it a scene stealer. He's the star of the movie. He's in every scene.
Oh yeah, I mean Charlie Sheen was definitely like a side man.
Yeah.
It was a sidekick.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a big star during that time.
Right.
Despite acknowledging Tucker's significant impact on Friday, Ice Cube expressed satisfaction with how things turned out since they got Mike Epps instead. In an interesting twist of fate, both comedians benefited from the situation. While Epps enjoyed a breakthrough with Next Friday, Tucker went on to star in Rush Hour 2, released a year after Next Friday, grossing over $300 million worldwide, according to IMDb. Tucker's commitment to his principles, including stepping away from Hollywood despite being the highest-paid actor at one point, reflects his strong sense of integrity. He prioritized humanitarian work over fame, showcasing a deeper aspect to his character beyond the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. According to Aries Spears, however, he was never quite the same after he did Money Talks.
That's why I'm saying it's a Jim Brown, Barry Sanders like mystery to me.
Oh yeah, I just saw the Barry Sanders documentary recently. Yeah, he just left.
Chris Tucker, when he was hot, especially like right after Money Talks, which to me is the best Chris Tucker film ever.
Better than Friday?
Funniest. Yes.
Money Talks is better than
Money
Friday? You would
Talks,
say that?
Chris.
I mean, it was all Chris Tucker, so I can see why you were kind of saying that.
That
But
movie, Chris is such a beast.
but I just feel there's more. I mean, if you look at it, the quotable lines from Chris Tucker and Friday, there's just more.
Oh no, listen, the Friday is a comedy good classic.
Yeah.
But Money Talks was his 48 hours. And that Chris Tucker, before I know he again turned himself over to became a born-again Christian.
Yeah.
But the cocaine Chris Tucker, not meaning using, just in terms of his comedic potency. Yeah, man, if he would have, the way Kevin Hart has created this wave and has ridden it and will ride it till it's over, I think Chris Tucker was in position to do that same thing. But somewhere after Money Talks and the first Rush Hour, he flipped the switch and pulled the Barry Sanders, where we didn't see him in anything but Rush Hours.
Yeah.
And those came far and few in between.
Yeah. I mean, he also was doing like the Fifth Element and other kind of offshoot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that if he had stuck to it like Kevin has, there's undoubtedly one of the biggest stand-ups in the world.
After striking gold with Jackie Chan in the mega-successful Rush Hour franchise, Chris Tucker decided to hit the pause button on his acting career. While Jackie Chan was dazzling audiences with his martial arts prowess and comedic flair, Tucker found global fame and fortune through their partnership in the iconic film series. Despite being a versatile comedian with roles in classics like Friday, The Fifth Element, and Jackie Brown, Tucker made a conscious decision to step away from the spotlight after the Rush Hour triumph. In a 2001 interview with The Morning Call, he candidly shared his desire for a Hollywood hiatus. "I traveled around the world promoting Rush Hour, and then I realized that I didn't want to work no more, ever. I just wanted to chill by the beach." Despite being offered various roles during this downtime, Tucker found none compelling enough. He explained, "To be honest, I couldn't find anything worth doing. So I spent the time soul-searching and growing up. I feel I'm young, and I've got a long time to do movies, and I didn't want to just jump out there and do any movie stuff just to do it. I wanted to do stuff that I was really going to have fun with, but it could have been all so different." Rush Hour was actually very close to never happening, according to Faison Love.
Chris didn't want to do in Rush Hour. I had to talk him into doing Rush Hour.
Really?
Yes. He didn't know who Jackie Chan was, and I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's I don't know goddamn Jackie Chan, man. He was set, like we had planned on doing a movie called Country and setting it up, I think with Paramount. And his manager at the time, Tracy, I did like a side deal or something. He was mad at that. Man, fuck that, man. So he knew Brett because he fired the director on Money Talks. So Brett and Tracy and Arthur put together Rush Hour. And man, I don't want to do this. Man, I said, no, you got to do this.
When asked about his return to the Rush Hour franchise, Tucker humorously quipped, being offered $20 million. No, I'm just kidding. What changed my mind was working with Jackie again. I knew that people would want to see us together again in this movie. This decision led to Tucker teaming up with Jackie Chan for 2 more sequels in the Rush Hour series, marking a triumphant return for the dynamic duo. Faison, in general, has shed a lot of light on Chris Tucker's past, which really explains why he wants to stay out of the limelight.
So you had a tweet where you said, man, I fold the hands for your support. Bro, you ready to light a flame that'll get someone hurt? I'm 52. I've been fighting for 40 years. Guns, bricks, sticks, knock dudes out, been knocked out, charged for attempted murder. When I turn around, I never seen you, so don't start now. You were charged with attempted murder? Can you talk about what that was about?
I apologize. That's with
Battle Cat?
Yeah.
You were charged for trying to kill Battle Cat?
Some people in his crew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a party that got a party that got out of hand. And 9 times out of 10, you see me, I'm holding.
Right.
We were at a party and some things were said, and then the gang thing comes in to a thing, and I pull out. And it's a house full of people there. And I'm famous now. I'm Wendell from Parenthood, pulling out a gun. And me and Chris is whooping somebody. I'm backing him up like, yo, who's next?
Mm-hmm.
And police came to pick me up at the Warner Brothers. It was embarrassing.
There was even the time he stole Charlie Sheen's Ferrari.
I mean, I love the scene between you and Chris Tucker in Money Talks.
That just happened.
You were in the prison cell.
That happened. Brett, who was a new director, and I was down there. Chris Tucker would steal Charlie Sheen's Ferrari. He said he would let him borrow it, but he would literally have this thing for weeks. And so
he would steal Charlie Sheen's Ferrari.
Yeah, he was like, look, come out and set, we're going to take Charlie Sheen's Ferrari again. Charlie Sheen had a bunch of Ferraris.
In a buzzworthy interview on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay, Cat Williams also dropped some unexpected insights, suggesting a major transformation in Chris Tucker's life. While discussing the challenges of making another Friday movie, Williams shared his perspective on the changed landscape since the original films, mentioning the loss of great people associated with the franchise. Williams expressed the irreplaceable void left by John Witherspoon, emphasizing the impact of his absence on the potential revival of the cult classic. However, the most surprising revelation came when Williams touched upon Chris Tucker's evolution, stating, "And the Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island, Chris Tucker, not Smokey." The comedian cryptically hinted at Tucker's alleged ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's private island, where disturbing activities were reported. Williams asserted, "To be confident and not delusional is a real skill," leaving listeners with a lot to ponder about the actor's current persona. Now, Ice Cube backing Chris Tucker is interesting, because they haven't really always been on the best term.
Now, as much as everyone loved the character Smokey, Ice Cube said he's glad he wasn't in Next Friday because he thinks Mike Epps is funnier than Chris Tucker as a pure comic. Today we have our comedy hype analysts Danielle Miller, Capone, and Pierre calling in to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
I'm sure you talked about this. I just don't know. I'm curious. But was Chris Tucker not talked about being in next Friday? Because I know it was Mike Epps, but
we wanted him. You know, he turned it down.
Really?
Yeah, he turned it down. Yeah, we wanted to pay him $12 million to do that movie. I mean, but I'm glad he didn't do it because we wouldn't have Mike.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, you know, to me is funnier, you know, just as a pure comic.
Now, Pierre, it seems like this went under the radar because this was actually an older interview and I haven't seen any, too many outlets talking about it. So let me come to you first. After seeing this clip, what's your reaction to hearing Ice Cube say he thinks that Mike Epps is funnier than Chris Tucker?
Well, when somebody turns down your franchise, then you pick someone else, then of course the other person is going to be the person you like more, it seems like. Let's be real. Chris Tucker made that role iconic. I mean, Friday wouldn't have been Friday without Chris Tucker. Let's just be honest with it. It'd been a cool little movie. It'd have been How to Be a Player too. Okay, just a joke. But let's be honest. Yeah, Chris did what he did with it, and got it to be able to be seen, more and more times. It became such a huge franchise that they made a whole bunch of parts. Mike Epps, when he stepped into it, he had big shoes to fill. A lot of people were trying to say, hey, what you gonna do with this Chris Tucker part? And I think he nailed it in the way he wanted to nail it.
Ice Cube, known for his outspoken views and contributions to the entertainment industry, recently shed light on his struggles within Hollywood's exclusive circles. In a candid statement, he emphasized that he isn't part of the so-called elite Hollywood club and believes he faces additional challenges imposed by unnamed gatekeepers. This sentiment stems from his perception that his Big Three basketball league, co-founded with entertainment executive Jeff Quatnitz, isn't receiving the attention it deserves. Ice Cube attributed this lack of acknowledgement to his Contract with Black America, a groundbreaking initiative addressing racial concerns, including the topic of reparations. During a discussion, he asserted, "Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are." Ice Cube's journey began with the iconic rap group NWA, renowned for their anthem, The Police. His transition into a film career, starting with 1991's Boys and the Hood and spanning over 40 films, including the successful Friday and Barbershop franchises, further solidified his impact on the entertainment landscape. Expressing his frustration on Twitter, Ice Cube accused the NBA of not collaborating with the Big Three, highlighting the challenges he perceives in breaking through the established barriers within the entertainment and sports industries. That's all for the video, folks. Thanks for watching.